Hello YouTube, this is Obsessed with Videos here, and this is my multimedia update of the 24th of December 2020. Over the past few days, I've been a bit depressed again. I've been struggling emotionally. I've just felt depressed again. I felt depressed quite a lot during this pandemic. It's been hard for me. But anyway, in this update, I've got one 4K Blu-ray and one DVD that I bought myself, and I've also got a few DVDs that my high school gave me. I think they sent them to me in the post or something. But it's nice that I've gotten a few DVDs again. I think I enjoy being able to buy a good amount of DVDs and Blu-rays again. I enjoy doing it as much as I can. Anyway, I'll show you the 4K Blu-ray first, which is Hocus Pocus with Bette Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker, and Kathy Najimy. You know, however you pronounce her last name. I don't know how you pronounce her last name, but you know who released this. You can see it right there. This was released back in October. I got it near Halloween. I just haven't shown it in an update yet until now. I think this is the second Disney 4K Blu-ray that I've got of the New Age rating after Onward, which I bought earlier this year. I'm hoping to get the remake of Mulan quite soon, which has the new 12 rating. So by then, by the time if I get Mulan on 4K, the remake, I'll have a Disney 4K with each New Age rating: U, PG, and 12. There could be a 15 rated one in the future that I get from like 20th Century Studios or whatever other label Disney decides to release films on 4K on that are rated 15 or 18. I don't know if they will in the future, but we'll just have to find out over the next few weeks or next few months. I know that 20th Century Studios are releasing The New Mutants on 4K in January, but I don't know if it will be me or if it will be my brother, whose channel is now called MChat, getting it. You'll just have to see between either one of us videos who gets it. But it's likely to be MChat that gets it. Just know that. Anyway, there's the Blu-ray of Hocus Pocus, the 25th anniversary edition from 2018 with the older age rating on from 2000 that started being used in the Sidon Round on DVD in 2003 up until it was replaced by the new age rating theatrically in November 2019 and on Blu-rays and DVDs earlier this year. And there's also the 4K disc with the new age rating, which was obviously from October when the 4K came out, obviously. I also know that 20th Century Studios have released Home Alone on 4K recently, but I haven't got it yet, but I might get it at a later point. Like another year or something, another time. Now I'll show you the DVD that I've got, which I got from eBay a couple of weeks ago, which is Wildcard, with Jason Statham. From the director of The Expendables 2 and Con Air, the extended edition. Never Bet Against a Man with a Killer Hand. Lionsgate release from 2015. Not for rental, which I'm not sure if that warning is used on DVDs as much as it used to be in the throughout the 2000s and 2010s. I think it was probably phased out within the mid 2010s. Not just on Lionsgate releases, but also on Fox releases, on Universal, on Warner Brothers. I think it's still used on Sony Pictures titles, but I don't think it's used anymore on Paramount titles. And obviously Disney phased it out within like the late 2000s. I'm not sure what the last Disney release to have a not for rental thing on was, but I'm sure it was during like sometime in the 2000s. Anyway, there's the disc itself. And I'll show you some of the films that I got from that my high school gave me. I'm only showing a few of them in the update. I'll be showing the rest another time, but I'll show you the amount I've got in the about a few of them that I got in this update, and I'll show the rest of them in another update. I'll show a bit more the rest I've got from high school in another update, but I'm just showing a few of them in this update. But anyway, first one is March of the Penguins, narrated by Morgan Freeman, from Warner Home Video. This is also a film from Warner Independent Pictures and National Geographic Feature Films. The film is from 2005, but the DVD is from 2006. And it's also got the hologram and not for rental thing. And there's the disc itself. The next one is Mouse Hunt with Nathan Lane and Lee Evans. I used to have this film on VHS back in early 2015. I think I had 2 copies of it. One was the CIC release from 1998, and one was a forefront re-release from either the late 90s or the early 2000s. Anyway, this is a DreamWorks release. This is a re-release because new age rating and different category number. It says there that this was a re-release from 2006, distributed by Paramount. I think the original release of this was from either the late 90s or the early 2000s. But the film itself was from 1997, even though it says 1998 there, which was presumably when it came out in the UK. I'm sure it was. But even though the age rating is different from on the disc, I'm sure it has the same opening as the original DVD, as a lot of DreamWorks releases did have when they were re-released around that time. Next one is another film I used to have on VHS, and had it on VHS back in June 2016, which is Daredevil with Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner. Yeah, Ben Affleck, the one who starred as Batman in the DC Extended Universe in films such as Batman v Superman in 2016 and Justice League in 2017. Those are a few that I can think of that had Ben Affleck as Batman, so he's played 2 superheroes between Marvel and DC. Anyway, this is a release from 20th Century Fox Home Entertainment and Regency Enterprises from 2003, with the not for rental thing there. The film's from 2003 and the DVD's from 2003. I know the film was released in the UK in February 2003 theatrically, but I can't remember when it was released on DVD. I don't know which month it was of that year it was released on DVD, but I'd have to find out. There's the disc itself. I think I used to have the director's cut of Daredevil in a box set of the Marvel superhero films on DVD, which also included X-Men, X-Men 2, X-Men 3, Fantastic Four, and Elektra. I remember having that box set a few years ago, but I think I sold it. Anyway, the next one is Johnny English, the fully loaded edition from Universal, released in 2011. This is also a film from Working Title Films and Studio Canal. The film's from 2003, but this DVD was from 2011, presumably to coincide with its sequel, Johnny English Reborn, because that was released in 2011 as well. There's the disc itself. Next one is the Spiderwick Chronicles on Paramount. This is also a film from Nickelodeon Movies as well. This is from 2008, both the film and the DVD. It's also got the Paramount hologram. And here's another thing. I used to have this DVD in a box set along with Stardust and Hotel for Dogs, which I might rebuy on DVD at a later point, or on Blu-ray, but I'll see what format I get it on. I might even get it on both, but I'll see. Next one is Ocean's 12, another film that I used to have on DVD, on Warner Home Video and also a Village Roadshow Pictures film, co-produced by Jerry Weintraub Productions. The film was released in the United States in late 2004, but was released in the UK theatrically in February 2005, and the DVD is also from 2005 as well. Again, it has the not for rental thing and the Warner hologram. And there's also a piracy warning there about pirated DVDs, which a lot of DVDs had back in the mid-2000s. And there's also the disc itself. I also used to have this film on video as well. The next one is a homemade DVD of the Naughty Bear movie, which is basically just a gameplay of Naughty Bear Panic in Paradise on the Xbox 360 from 2012. And I just added a BBFC card and logos in front of it. Anyway, the company that released this was Momentum Pictures, or at least it was the logo I put in front of it. This was from 2012, co-produced by Caprica Media, and the game was created by 505 Games and Behaviour Interactive. Well, those were the companies that made the first Naughty Bear game in like 2009 or 2010. And there's the disc itself. Well, it has the old Momentum Pictures logo on the case and presumably what I drew on the disc. It has the 2007 logo at the start. The next one is Uncle Buck, a film that I used to have on DVD, again, directed by John Hughes and starring John Candy and also Macaulay Culkin as well. A Universal release. The case is from 2003. And the disc says it's from 2006. And it also has the not for rental thing there. But I remember when I used to have the DVD of this, it had an opening that was reminiscent of the one that Universal used when they were with Columbia TriStar releasing UK DVDs in the early 2000s. So I'm pretty sure this copy of the disc will have the same opening, because there was also a copy of it that actually was released by Columbia TriStar and had the old age rating and all that as well. But I remember having the copy, this same copy back in 2015, and I've got it again now. Next one is the 2-disc edition of the 2005 Tim Burton version of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory with Johnny Depp and Freddie Highmore. Warner Brothers release from, 2005. It was released on 2005 theatrically and on home media, and it's also another Village Roadshow film. Warner hologram there, not for rental there. And there's also a booklet advertising Warner releases at the time, which were Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Batman Begins, Polar Express, and Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, which was a new release at the cinema at the time of this DVD release. So there's disc 1 and there's disc 2. I used to have the DVD of this as well. So a lot of these are films that I used to have on DVD, but I'm happy to have them back. Next one is another 2-disc edition of the 2002 Sam Raimi Spider-Man film, the one with Tobey Maguire, on Columbia TriStar from 2002. I think this was one of the films that caused the BBFC to create the 12A rating, because people were mad that the film got a 12 rating in the UK and that their kids couldn't go see it. So that's why they made the 12A rating back in 2002. Anyway, there's disc 1 and there's disc 2. I used to have this film on both VHS, DVD, and my brother's got it on Blu-ray as part of the Spider-Man collection, which includes this film, Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 3, and The Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 as well. So I've got this film had the film on a lot of formats, and I've got it on DVD again as well as the Blu-ray. Next one is another 2-disc special edition, yet again, this time for Batman Begins. I've got this film as part of the Dark Knight trilogy, but I've got it on DVD now as well, so it's nice to have it on both DVD and Blu-ray. Me or M-Chat might get it on 4K in the future, but we'll just see. We'll just see who gets it. This is a Warner release, obviously, because they do most of the recent DC films, and this was, well, they did DC films back since like Superman the movie during the 1970s. So most of the DC films since then have been made by Warner Brothers, except for the Red films, which were by Summit Entertainment and Entertainment One. But Batman Begins is a Warner and DC film, as most of the DC films are distributed by Warner Brothers. Film's from 2005, but the DVD's from early 2006. Not for rental again, and Warner hologram again. And you also get the same booklet that came with Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And there's this one for Batman Begins, and there's this too, as well. And yet again, another film that I used to have on DVD, and I also used to have the exact DVD of this with the 2-disc special edition, which is Quantum of Solace, with Daniel Craig. This is actually the second James Bond film to star Daniel Craig after Casino Royale. Sooner or later, he'll be making his last appearance as James Bond in No Time to Die, whenever that comes out, because it keeps being delayed due to this pandemic. Anyway, this is a release from MGM, distributed by 20th Century Fox. The film's from 2008, but the DVD's from early 2009. Co-produced by Columbia Pictures. Has the not for rental there, and also the 20th Century Fox hologram there. There's disc 1, and there's disc 2. That's it for this update, and hopefully I'll get some more DVDs and Blu-rays at Christmas so that I can show them in my Christmas update in the next few days. And have a very Merry Christmas. I hope I have a Merry Christmas. I hope I have a Merry Christmas myself. Hope you all again have a very Merry Christmas. And hopefully I'll be able to get the OWV awards out on December 31st so that we can have a happy new year and that we can look back at all the stuff that I've got over this year, which is, in terms of cinema tickets and posters, it isn't very much, but for DVDs, I'm pretty sure there'll be a substantial amount to go at. So that's it for this update. Stay tuned for more videos coming soon.